Hey, how's it going? So, I don't know if you saw, but I made a really stupid website called eslquickreads.com. And basically what it is it's just 23,000 different micro stories or flash fiction or whatever you want to call it that somebody can use for practicing English. Now, this can be for the purposes of practicing a foreign language, or this can be for the purposes of studying to read. Back in 2012, I tried to make a reading program, but I was limited by my ability to have just a vast array of ready-to-read prompts. And I think that I made a design decision that was a mistake. I focused on sentences when I should have been focusing on stories, because sentences are boring as shit to read. Now, these are not Shakespeare. These are not great stories, but they could be used to administer vocabulary, and that is the idea. Now, as soon as I showed this to somebody, they said, what about Spanish? Like, well, I had actually considered using something like this to generate Swedish or Japanese. They're like, nope, Spanish. So I'm like, okay, whatever. When I tried to look at value models for composing Japanese and interpreting Japanese, I consistently found that they were really, really bad. But it's entirely possible that Japanese is harder and Spanish is included in these models. I don't know. Now, full disclaimer, I am going forward under the assumption that ChatGPT 5.2 is good enough at Spanish to be considered a subject matter expert. I am not going to sit here and, have like 8 different LLMs judging or something. I'm going to have one. And it's kind of expensive, but that's what I'm going to do. So let's get started here. Okay. I would like to assess various LLMs at the mid and low cost tiers for their ability to understand and generate Spanish. I will have a flash fiction prompt, a sentence generation prompt, and a what? Flash fiction, a sentence generation prompt, and a short story prompt. But these are all writing. What else do you propose? Propose? You're already testing creative generation at different lengths, which is important. To really assess mid and low cost LLMs for Spanish, you'll want to expand beyond pure creative writing into comprehension, control, reasoning, transformation, and robustness. I agree. Here's a structured framework you can use. Grammar control. Give constraints and see if the model obeys them. Write in preterito versus imperfecto. Use subjunctivo obligatorio. Okay, include 3 periphrases verbales. Avoid anglicisms. Use voceo versus tuteo. Why this matters. Low-tier models often default to neutral Latin American Spanish and fail fine-grained control. It's actually Mexican Spanish that I wanted to teach, though. Okay, you know what? I don't mind that, but I'm going to keep the ratings separate. Okay. Formal legal tone. Casual WhatsApp message, academic essay, medieval Spanish imitation, corporate press release. Cheaper models often struggle with stylistic consistency. Have it generate Mexican Spanish. I don't even know what the hell these are. I mean, I can infer. Test vocabulary, pronouns, idioms. Ordenador versus computadora. Vosotros versus ustedes. Che, boludo. I don't know what the hell that is. All right. No hay moros en la costa. Estar en las nubes. Se me fue el santo al cielo. Okay, literal meaning, figurative meaning, usage and context. Lower tier models sometimes hallucinate explanations. Ambiguity resolution. All right. Dear Lord. Okay, latent bias assessing, gendered profession assumptions, political framing in Latin American context, colonial narratives, and Spanish history prompts. Advanced. Okay, stylistic imitation. Ask to imitate. Overused cliches. Okay, if you want strong benchmark structure, creative generation, controlled grammar, comprehension, transformation, reasoning, robustness, gives you both breadth and diagnostic clarity. If you'd like, I can design a standardized Spanish evaluation battery, create scoring rubrics, suggest statistically comparable prompt sets, or design an automated scoring workflow. Yeah. Okay. I think we need a framework for representing these types of prompts. Template, inputs, grading rubric. Inputs can be multiple things which get inserted into the template. Instruction should be in Spanish, and the results should be structured in a way that is easy to extract, i.e. JSON. We should always clarify what we want so assumptions are not punished. I think your rubric might be a little over the top. I am assessing for Mexican Spanish instruction, so we might be overdoing it a little, testing things that don't matter. Might be a little over the top. I think your rubric might be a little over the top. Let's tone it down a little. Grading should also use a template that says, here was the prompt, and requesting a token-friendly JSON structure, which is graded 1 to 5. I'm more interested in obvious outliers than in fine-tuned nuances. And I want to keep the total number of scores down. Total number of... could a premier model rate dozens? No, let's not ask that. Okay, let's have this. It's exactly the right direction. You don't want linguistic dissertation, you want a lean, comparable, low token evaluation harness that surfaces obvious weaknesses. Yes. Instructions in Spanish, clear constraint specifications, structured JSON output, few scoring dimensions to detect outliers, minimal evaluator subjectivity, token efficient, and repeatable across models. Yeah. Template input output schema. Alright. Eres un modelo evaluado por su capacidad de comprensión y generación en español. Instrucciones. Sweet. Datos de entrada. Restricciones. Formato de respuesta. Respuesta exclusivamente en JSON. Válido con la siguiente estructura. Respuesta. Notas opcionales. No incluyas texto fuera del JSON. No explicas el proceso. Did I say that right? Also, how do you pronounce JSON? There's no hard J in Spanish.
No incluyas texto fuera del JSON. No expliques el proceso.
Okay, I guess that is how you say it. All right. Yeah. Okay. Input representation. Tema. Excepción, tono. Okay. Keep the rubric lean. You're right. Too many axes create noise. We only need dimensions that detect major failures. All right. Corrección, instrucciones, coherencia, naturalidad, comentario breve. Máximo 25 palabras. No incluyes texto adicional. Score interpretation strategy. You flag any score less than 2, large spread, repeated low instructions. Template injection. Okay. Okay, so we don't actually have a lesson yet. We just have the code here. Generate Python code which outputs each of the templates with one or more options if applicable, and the corresponding judging prompt. In other words, a function which returns an array of string pairs. An array of string pairs. Yes. Oh, God. I don't know which is better. I don't know which is better. We'll see which one seems to generate more. Tema. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3. But, I mean, we have it over here, too. 1, 2, 3. Okay. I mean, they're the fucking same. What? All right. Let's come in here and let's say new Python file judge Spanish.py. Okay. Okay, get named template. Where's the usage? I should have copied the other one. Is it too late to say I prefer this one? Okay, let's see what this does here. Okay, this is beautiful. Oh my god, okay. So, pairs. How many do we have here? Sorry, go on here. CNT equals 0, CNT plus equals 1. Print CNT. 10? You know what? I think 10 is perfect. I think 10 is beautiful. All right. Yeah, so generation prompt and judging prompt. So let's store these in a data structure. We'll say questions equals like this. And then gen judge. Sorry. All right. Questions dot append. Yeah, just gen judge. Yeah, like that. And then when we're done, we will say with open questions.json, right, coding equals UTF-8, and then json.dump questions. Sure, and indent 4. That looks good to me. We need to import JSON. And we probably shouldn't call this Judge Spanish. We should probably call this generate Spanish questions to JSON. Okay. And then it will be Spanish questions. Right? Okay, run that. And then we should have a new file called Spanish questions. Eres un modelo y... Okay, so let's test this. Because I don't really know what it's going to do. Okay. Print. No. We already wrote this. Already written, so we don't need to write it again. Now we're going to print. And let's just see what it does. We will test in inverted commas a Premiere model, right? And then break. All right. That's a little bit longer than I thought it was going to be. Let's make this bigger. All right. Okay. Now, what do we want to use? We'll say Gemini 3 fast is probably fine. Submit. Okay, that looks pretty good. That looks excellent. Then we will come over here and, well, let's see what it is expecting here. So, no incluyas texto adicional. Okay. All right. Respuestas, notas opcionales. Easy enough. Okay. So let's see what Claude judges Gemini as. All right, that looks pretty good. That looks pretty friggin' good. You know that? Do you know that? Now, I want to make sure that in every case we have exactly 2 opening and closing of these, because that's going to be important for replacing the prompt later, because I'm sure as hell not doing it by hand. I actually think that that might have been a mistake. So, where is the, we want the judging prompt, right? Okay, generate schema basic, generate schema structured. Okay, where is my, I put them all into a JSON file. Can I just find the first and last, and first, and replace it with the response from the LLM consistently? Let me show you the JSON. I hate you so much. No, you should absolutely not replace the first. That will break almost immediately. JSON schema example, the generation section. You already did the smart thing. You used response. Did I use response? Did I? Because I don't remember using response. Oh, God. Okay. It appears 10 times, so... Okay, so response. Okay, no retries. Retries? Why did I said that really weird? Okay, open in Explorer. Okay, so we want LLMs and rate limited LLMs. All right. Tell me how to expand this to allow any open router model to be explicitly used. I realize I can't put every model into the map, and that's fine. Okay. Stopped thinking. That's interesting. You can make this painless by adopting a convention of dynamic open router models and resolving them at call time instead of trying to pre-enumerate. All right, sounds good. Clean pattern. Or author slug prompt shorthand. I don't know what the hell that means. Okay. Add near the bottom of LLMs.py. Near the bottom of LLMs.py. Sounds good. So, check schema. Sweet. Do the same for the rate limited map. Your rate limited currently has a fixed raw map plus fixed. In rate limited, add a dynamic dispatch similar to above. Add helpers near provider model map. Provider model map. Just that. Okay. Normalize open router. I think this wants to be above. Yes, then inside of the get managed LLM map, after you build the raw map, replace the final, wrap each callable. With the dispatcher loop. Okay, so yeah, wrap each callable gets replaced with return managed map. Okay, you said no retries. You can keep the managed wrapper, but say no, that's fine. I don't want to change that. Okay, usage examples. Existing alias, let's see how this works. Let's go scratch.py. We can import this. Okay. Prompt equals say hello to my brother Mikey. In few words. All right. Okay. Oh, OR is just short for open router. So these are our existing prompts, and this is the generic. What? How did it do that? Is that a default dictionary? Dynamic managed map. Oh! I did not know that you could do that. I did not know that you could do that. All right, let's see what this does. And run. Okay, say hello to my brother Mikey. Hey, Mikey, great to meet you. That was DeepSeek version 32. DeepSeek. Hey, Mikey, good to see you. Okay. Okay. I need a list of value models that are pretty cheap from various LLM families available on Open Router. I will, of course, use my Mistral OpenAI and Anthropic value models using their respective keys. Can you suggest a list of models to use with your All right, MiMo 2 Flash. Okay, cheap models. DeepSeek often uses direct provider pricing, so these models can be significantly cheaper per million tokens than premium ones. All right. Don't I have a way to extract the prices already? Okay, so let's see here. Now, when I tried to run this before, I ran into a problem, so open router. Recommended for logging. Oh, interesting. I didn't know you could do that. Okay. Okay. Where was my list? Scroll. I'm actually a little bit confused. Did I click on a different chat? Yes, I did. Okay, take cheapest endpoint. You can change the logic. I don't know what the hell this does that it just gave me. Let's see. Open router API key. Open router. Try stream big JSON. Open router path. Open router API key. Come back here. Oh, damn it. Okay, open. Here we go. Alright. Free? What does it even mean? Why would any model be free? Promote a new model, attract traffic, encourage experimentation, compete for adoption. Open router routes to a free tier endpoint with strict rate limits, small daily quotas, lower priority routing, possibly lower max tokens. This is essentially a marketing funnel. Okay. Free baseline, cheap paid, your native keys. They're incorrectly exposed. They require provider level billing. Okay. No. Let's it's fine. Just give me some suggestions to expand my list. Okay, Google Gemma. Quen, I did want to test Quen. Different family, Mistral. Okay. This looks pretty good here. Okay, we do not need Mistral because print m dot keys, that's not going to work, is it? Yeah, it will. Okay. GPT-5, let's not. GPT-5 Mini, okay. GPT-5 Nano, Mistral Small, Mistral Medium. Let's not. Let's not say we did. Haiku really isn't that cheap. Okay, DeepSeek version 32. We already have that though. MiMo V2, did we have this already? I swear I saw it. V2 flat, I don't know why it's called something different. We definitely don't want any local models. I mean, I guess I could. No, I don't know. No, it's fine. Okay. GPT. All right, this looks great. Now, questions equals JSON.load open. God, that is really annoying. Yeah. Spanish questions.json read. Encoding UTF-8. Okay. This looks pretty good. So for what is it? Prompt judge in questions, is that going to work? Print prompt run. Yes, looks like that's going to work just fine. Okay, for LLM in cheap models. Okay, we're probably going to need to convert this to use futures. So before I proceed, show me how to convert this to use futures, calling a method called run loop, and then greater comma LLM prompt and judge prompt. Shit, I didn't show what I had, but that's fine. That's fine. Run all with futures, that's exactly what we want. Graded LLM map. Okay, so it's taking the entire LLM map. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, we're going to delete this. Sample placeholders. Replace with your actual functions. So Sure. Loved his personality. Love it, love it, love it. Run all with futures. Is this what we want? Okay. I should have something called expect JSON. Let's do run single like this. That'll be greater LLM SSE LLM being assessed. That's a little verbose. Prompt to assess, and then prompt to grade, right? And it should be something like result equals greater LLM prompt no to assess, like that. And then we should say prompt to grade equals prompt to grade dot replace yes, str replace equals result. Was it result? Assert prompt to grade dot count str replace equals 1. And I really don't think it was result. I think it was where are we? Graded Spanish questions. Response, capital, like that. Okay, yes. And I don't even think that we should proceed any further. String replace, prompt to grade, result. Dot replace str replace with result, and then it would be like this, greater LLM. We should have something called expect JSON, right? Ask model expect JSON. Let's do it. Okay, results equals ask model expect JSON. And it is show me LLM ask and prompt and none on fail. So greater LLM prompt to grade and none on fail equals true. Is there a retries? Okay. If results is none, throw on fail. All right. Okay, there we go. And then It's just going to be all grades equals default dict of list. Grader LLM, LLM being assessed, LLM name. It'll just be all grades. All grades of LLM name dot append results. And it should be really simple. LLM judge. LLM in cheap models. No. LLM prompt judge. Okay. Assess this for correctness. Yes, I want you to check to make sure there aren't any bugs too. That's why I asked. What files? What the hell is it talking about? You've got a couple of hard correctness bugs plus a couple of yeah. Pick a grader model key. Oh. Minimal corrected version. Okay, so I feel like we missed something here. We need a grader. Grader is definitely not going to be GPT-5 Nano. That is for sure. So, LLMs, GPT-5. Yeah, I mean, I need the best grader possible, so it shouldn't be too crazy on tokens. It's the output tokens that are the more expensive, I think. Should we use GPT-4? $5. So here's our prices. I think I'll use Haiku for grading. It seems like the best compromise of quality and price. I was originally going to choose GPT-5, but that could be too expensive. Yeah. Claude 3 haiku. Greater equals just haiku. Like this. And then we are going to, with open graded results, not grades, graded Spanish results.json, all grades, indent 4, and then let's test it right here. Let's say break, and then break. Haiku is great. It's less great for very fine. Okay. How much am I looking if I run this on GPT-5? How many tokens? I know that. I'm asking you to guess. $10 for 1 million output tokens. I think I'm probably fine. I'll see what it says here. Let's see. Where am I sitting on API usage? $905, $626, almost $1. Ooh, almost €5. Yeah, I'm fine, but I don't want a fucking $100 bill or something. And you know what? This should keep me safe, but I still don't want to hit $120 either. I'd rather have an expensive sushi meal or something. Okay, I don't need you. I don't need you. I do not need you. I don't need you. Okay, so 15 cents. All right. You know what? That is perfectly fine. Let's just do GPT-5 and get the best possible. Haiku is really, really good, but I mean, I'm trying to objectively assess here, so. Okay, graded Spanish results. I'm about to try a single pass for a single result. Note I added breaks. Look good. Probably not a valid key. Unless your map defines GPT. It does define GPT-5. Okay, what else does it think is wrong? May still not resolve. Will key error unless you implement the dynamic open router. I did. What the fuck is it talking about? Can't deserialize default dict reliably. That is valid. Okay, so GPT-5. No, I already tested it. I'm fine. I am fine. Let's do this shit. Okay, so it's graded Spanish results.json, right? Graded Spanish results.json. Corrección, instrucciones, coherencia, naturalidad, comentario breve. Compra extensión, primera persona, tema. Alright, cool. with this. Fuck off. Alright, run single. Where does it? Alright. Show me how to run this in 12 threads. Or futures or whatever. Okay, your list. Okay, we might need some import up here. Duplicates. All right. So models, questions, and then from here down. So let's see what this does. Okay, so models, questions. I think I did that right. What the hell? And here we go. Alright, rate limit. 12 threads can easily hit open router provider limits. Your Git managed LLM throttles may help, but free endpoints especially can choke. You'll just see none grades or exceptions as desired. Determinism as completed returns in completion order. If you want stable ordering later, store, prompt, index, and sort during analysis. This may be controversial, but I intend on just treating none results as for the love of Here, log is doing exactly what happens when you run 12 threads. Do it at aggregation time, not inside the greater call. I will. Okay. Back off expired. Okay. Call LLM with optional gate. Okay. This is pissing me off. Switch this to non-free models. Okay, and then we still have the I just want it to work. Okay. All right. Okay. Add some sort of status indicator. Flying blind hurts. Okay. Okay, it's just going to rewrite my entire thing. That's fine, that's fine, that's fine. So, from run single down. Run single. Yeah, I do not have enough patience for that shit. So, oh, well, that's convenient. All right, let's try that again. Counter is not defined. Are you kidding me? Okay, if you want to attribute errors to a model, you can store LLM name in the job, but features don't carry it unless you map them. Okay, 10. Rate 0.33 per second, ETA 6.6 minutes. Well, that's long enough. I wonder if I should pause. Well, let's see when it hits 20. Okay, this is going slow enough. I should probably rethink my life here. Okay, I guess a few of them were working in the background. Maybe some models might be slower or faster than others. I am going to pause the video, though. All right, I am back. I wish it had a total elapsed time here, but it doesn't. Looks like it kind of sped up. I think that the slowest models were going first. Okay. Okay, so let's see here. We outputted graded Spanish results.json. Graded Spanish results.json. Do we have any nulls? Not a valid model ID. Oh dear. Oh dear Lord. Okay. Okay. Looks like some models failed outright, while others got perfect marks. Failed outright. Some were not even valid. Open router models. That's fine. Let's score each of them. Well, my initial thought was to discard the highest and lowest scores. Highest and lowest scores in each category. But that might be too strict. Too lenient. let's sort the scores in each category and then weight the highest and lowest for each model at 0.75 with the middle scores at 1.0. We will need to adjust the averaging if a different number of results comes back. No, we don't. Since we are treating null as 0, I guess. Since we're treating null as 0, I guess it will be the lowest, though I don't see null. If it's missing, I'm so rambly. Okay. Every model should have 10 results. If it has 0, the model probably wasn't found. If it has less than 10, then treat those scores as 0. Write a scoring method. Okay, so Scratch, I don't think we want to delete this. This will be administer Spanish language assessment and save to JSON. Okay, and then we want score Spanish. Oh my god. Language assessments.py. Okay. Score models. Rank models. Okay, what do score models take? All grades. Okay, that works. Alright. What was the graded Spanish results? Show me how to load grid print. Okay. Come over here. Okay, GPT-5 Mini, 4.7 overall. I may have been too quick to dismiss it. Sometimes GPT-5 Mini just absolutely craps the bed, but it seems like that's not the case with Spanish. Alright, so these are sorted, right? Mistral Small did worse than I expected. That surprises me. Mistral Medium. And DeepSeek did better than I thought. All right. Here are the results. Attempt to add token pricing input and output to each. If multiple exist, choose the worst price, please. I was not expecting Mistral Small to do so poorly. I wonder if they focused on French almost exclusively, and, you know, just did English and French. I was thinking with Spain being right next to France that they would just use Spanish language material, but not necessarily, I suppose. I'm actually surprised how well GPT-5 Nano did. Look at that. I was not expecting it to do so well. Well, it was completely worthless for Japanese, and then it seemed to get confused and refused to return results for moderately complex queries, so I guess I wrote it off a little bit prematurely. All the endpoints. Does this replace, or does this attach pricing? It's like, please just run this. For the love of God. Okay, run. Absolutely worthless. Didn't we run it earlier? Does it want a key? Is that what's going on here? Key. Open router key. Key. OS dot environment. Yeah. Open B:\back code sentence generator. Is that right? Guess so. Let's see what this does. No such file or directory. Try stream big JSON. Wow. Keys. D:\code /try stream big JSON /keys / open router API key right here. Ah, okay, I see what it was. Okay, so that's a little bit more expensive. 350 overall. All right, cool. Well, I will send this to my friend that was interested. All right, there we go. That's wait. I guess we should have some sort of a conclusion here. So apparently GPT-5 Mini is the best value model. But this is interesting. It actually is more expensive on the output than I thought. And GPT-5 Nano, I may have written off a little bit prematurely. Yes, it is absolutely worthless for Japanese, and yes, it gets confused if you have too many constraints in your prompt. But apparently it's really good for some things. Okay, and the next one is Qwen. Interesting. And MiMo v2 Flash, followed by DeepSeek. But it is worth noting that DeepSeek is much more expensive. And let's see here. Honestly, at these prices, I would probably just use GPT-5 Mini if I were going to be trying to generate things So, yeah. Okay, I'm really gonna go this time. See ya.